Happy Monday morning, everybody. Welcome to Inspire Velocity. My name is Keith, and this is going to be a culmination of yesterday a ride and today a ride. One was for a younger crowd, one was for a crowd that was a little bit older. Both had the same message. Okay, there was some nervousness for a college group that was going to find out their sorority at USC on Sunday, and then there was a 31-year-old woman with two kids who was trying to find her place in the world, but it all boiled down to the same subject. The first thing that came, how I can summarize it for you, is the first thing that came to me was simple. It's good to get nervous. It's good to try to figure out where it is you're going to be in life. All those things are stepping stones to where you can learn a little bit more about your internal self. Because we all play the surface game trying to fit in to what we see. We don't understand it fully when we're going through it. Some of us can look back and see, the reason for things and so forth. But the most important thing goes down to the simplicity of even how we'll teach our kids. So one of the things that I taught my kids surrounding this subject is you can either wait for what the world is going to bring you, okay, or you can go ahead and bring to the world what you're going to bring to the world, okay. That's going to change the game, and that is a process that over time is just about getting to know yourself. I'm going to tell you something. You spend the most time with you, okay, in your entire life. 50 years, the guy that I spent the most time with is myself, okay? You better get to know yourself. And you better know why you're doing something, why you want to fit into this, or why you want to figure that out. If you don't get that why down, then you can go through life not even understanding what your true motive is. This is an access point inside that you have to work hard at to get to. But it comes with all these little stepping stones, all these little moments. So in a 3-minute time period for the college group, it was, hey, you have shine inside of you. They happen to all be from the Northeast. I was from the Northeast. I said, listen, you got shine. You went through things of having to shovel snow before you go to school. You went through different things, just like every area of the country has their different pros and cons, and it makes you who you are. Okay, you got to be able to utilize that and go back to that, and just know that you're not doing it to fit in with something else. All the people that may put some kind of pressure on you to try to fit into this world, they're not going to pay your bills. They're not going to be the one that is with you when times are tough. You're going to be with you, and whoever your closest loved ones are that hopefully you align yourself with on the same subject. Okay, but you got to know that you have an inner shine. One of the things I told my kids long ago, and I think they thought I was joking around because they were into super heroes and so forth, is that everybody's got a superpower inside. As a matter of fact, when you access it, you'll realize you have more superpowers. But that is not going to be found externally. It's going to be acted upon, and the action is going to go out to the world, but that's with you realizing it on the inside. Okay? And yes, this does ball up into belief in yourself. Okay? Belief in what you know about you, and belief in what you don't know about you. Okay? Those things are important, because there's way more unknown inside of us than there is known. So yes, faith, belief, trust, all of that stuff is incremental over time. And it does come down to the fact of something that it can be life-changing, of how you go into a sorority, or you go into that job, or you're trying to find your place. Still, you take away all these layers of all confusion, and you just get down to effort. When you put in your effort, it's okay where it ends up. You just got to put in your effort. Okay? Everything else gets a little wonky if not. So today, I just want to make sure people are looking at getting inspired in a way of that doesn't matter what age you are. Asking yourself a question, hey, what is my true motive? Do I understand motive? Through the process of my life of doing that, I actually saw a message inside the word motive. Okay, maybe a little mind-boggling at first, but I saw, TIME inside there, a little word search, right? It's one of my, I'll call it a little superpower. It's the word time. Backwards, it's the word emit. Both of those things represent something positive to me. Time heals, right? Emit light, okay? Shed light on something, all right? Both positive. But also inside of it, crazy when I saw it, was vomit. VOMIT, ill. Okay? So now you got ill motive. So you got ill motive and you got positive motive. Right inside the word. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because through an internal process of understanding yourself and knowing there's people that I have met that see things in license plates or their senses are enhanced, but there's no platform to work on. That's the platform for you to work on. Whatever it is that you're going to do, you grab that information and then you are able to go into stepping stones. Now, those stepping stones are, something that is of great importance. Anytime I ran a company or ran a business or was speaking to a bunch of people or one of the top dogs in the company doing motivational speaking, I said, listen, it's okay if you don't end up being here, and it's okay if you end up being here. If this is your long haul, great, it's your long haul. If it's your stepping stone, it's your stepping stone. But what's not okay is not to put in all your effort into that. Because those stepping stones can go down or they can go up, okay? If you put today, whatever is happening, as the end of the world, right? Well, then the end of the world is going to be to you. Your perception is your truth, okay? That's the reality of everything. So being in touch with what your perception is, being in touch with why you're doing something, being in touch with what your motive is, this is so vital to so many people, because what it does is it gives you access and unlocks different things inside of you that allows you to see things differently. But then you come to realize that it was always there. And I'm not saying anything to people. There's many people out there that understand this exactly. They're living this, okay, in their own way, with their own story. But here you are, two different age brackets that are sitting there going into this, and what are they going to do? Are they going to access and believe in their superpower, or are they going to believe that everything out on the outside is what they need to fit into, and let that hurt them if they don't? You don't. You gotta release your shine, and when you don't know what your shine is, you gotta even just believe and have faith that you have that shine, and you gotta try. That's the message today, because when you go and you approach life in that manner, what happens is you feel better. You're working on a different platform. Okay, if you don't, you can get sucked into the surface world where you're trying to fit in so much you get cemented. You don't want that. You don't want to get cemented into trying to fit in. Everybody knows that, that a lot of times people are just saying what they think somebody wants to hear or whatever it may be. But that's not the truth. You spend the most time with yourself, get to know yourself, okay? So you can rely on yourself, okay? Very important to go internal and then external, and everything gets resolved. What it does is it also gives you the opportunity to jump into the fact of seeing that something happens for an exact reason. So the point is, let's just say the sorority goes ahead and says, no, you're not good for us, okay? That's going to sting. It's going to hurt. We all know you're putting a lot into it. You may have even put in all your effort, or you put in some of your effort. But the bottom line of it is, okay, is that maybe that sorority's not supposed to be for you. And you may not know that for a couple years. All right? But this is what the inspiration is. That there is so many different options out there for you to be able to get to. But if you're not in the game, meaning the game of yourself and trying to better yourself every single day and looking at it and not letting other things judge you or determine you, just know that whatever it is that you can call the end of the world or the biggest thing in the world right now, I promise you, if I asked you, go ahead, think about your biggest problem, which should be challenge, because problems can't be overcome. A challenge is something that we encourage ourselves to do. Okay, we want to overcome the challenge. But if I told you what is your biggest problem last year at this moment, you can't remember it unless it's really significant. Okay, that comes once in a great while. If I asked you this next year, you're not going to remember this year. So with that message, go ahead and say, okay, why am I stressing? Because stress and trying to fit in, all these different things, these are the things that can go and make us kind of get cemented. All right? I hope you guys can take this. Ask yourselves today, hey, what's my motive? Let me get in the game. What am I going to do? What am I bringing to the world? Let me swing. Let me, metaphorically, let me swing to the world what I got. Okay? You got your shine. Let your shine come out. It's not going to come out if you don't try to acknowledge it and go to it. It's almost like the movie Coco. If anybody saw that animated movie, you know, some people see the message of, oh, the message was if you didn't acknowledge the dead, then they would go to another place. Well, if you don't acknowledge everything that's in you inside your genetic coding that goes back 2,000 years and believe that you are the latest, greatest model of whatever it is that it's gone through since the beginning of time, if you don't acknowledge that, then maybe you won't get access to it. Think about it. Give it a try. It's free. It's yours. I hope you got inspired. Let's do this. Have a great week.